basically is it's bows and arrows and shooting at each other. So it's like a paintball. It's also like laser tag. It's actually there's a dense foam core blunt tip on the front of it, so you don't get injured. But everybody obviously has to wear a mask. We're very, very excited about this because it is the new craze, no doubt. I mean, Knockerball is the new craze, but this is the new craze. So, Karen.
So tell me once more, how did you find this? You watched Shark Tank, and
Yeah.
there was an opportunity to open your own
Yeah,
business
so
here like that?
I saw it on Shark Tank, and it definitely gravitates towards my spirit. I'm definitely a high energy guy. I've been involved with sports for a long time. I started doing the research, realized that that there was potential here. I saw that there was one affiliate. The previous affiliate was stood up before us. They were actually at Military Circle in the mall. They've just recently opened another one. But I kind of just dug into it, and I said, hey, if we stayed remote, I go as far west as Richmond. I'll go up to Fredericksburg for the right client. There's an additional mileage charge that we charge outside of a 20-mile radius. But yeah, I just dug into it and I said, well, this is really exciting. Some of you have met my daughters that have come in here. They're minority owners for the company. And really, they were the driving factor. I wanted my kids, they're now 16 and 18, to be involved with business, thinking about business. And so they play a large role in this process too, but that's how we started.
So how does it work if we don't know what this is about? So you travel somewhere, you bring these balls, we play a game. How does it work?
So we utilize indoor venues, fields, parks, backyards. We do it all. We bring the show to the client. We have lots of clients that say, hey, we would love to do it indoors, especially this time of year. I coach School of Excellence Soccer for Rush, so we use the Rave indoor facility. It's a great venue, and it's really low cost in comparison to like the field house. But yeah, we've done it inside of gymnasiums. A lot of the churches here are involved with us, so we use their gymnasiums and locations like that.
Two questions. One, have you approached the Virginia Beach Hotel Association?
No, and I would love to turn my recorder on.
Bless you, and I think Ray knows about it. If you can then, I'll talk to you later on who they are.
Okay.
They actually are the hotels and motels down at the beach. And so if you get connected in with those, maybe you can set up some kind of joint activities, anything, especially if you can figure out a way that's mutually beneficial to both the hotel and yourself.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
That'd be a thing to do. I am also curious, I saw a little thing, you're trying to increase your social media. I would think this would almost be organic in itself.
Yeah, the videos are a hit, clearly, keep them nice and short. I spent a good amount of money last year hiring someone to do our videos for us, which has paid great dividends. But really, as far as driving a budget into pay-per-click or ads, really getting the word out. I mean, people know that we're here, but there's a more effective way that we can go about doing that, and we're really trying to focus on what that is. I don't really want to hire a social media person. My wife and I mess around with it enough to the point where we think that we're somewhat savvy on it, but we didn't dedicate a budget or a specific really goal through social media other than just, hey, here was your event. We post the pictures and videos that we take while we're at these parties or church events or corporations, and then we tag them in it. But as far as driving it, to really fill the calendar.
Account for yourself, Snapchat?
Sorry? Yeah. We're running everything primarily through Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, and then a little bit of Twitter.
Yes,
Is it me? On the insurance aspect, talk about that. And also from the video, we saw older folks, but how young can people participate?
Yeah, so we, the company just launched newer balls. Previous to last week, we ran from 6 years old up to however old the client wanted to be. There's 2 different size balls, and now we just launched a third ball, which is still coming. We haven't even gotten it yet. But now basically a 4-year-old will be able to play this game too. So so basically the age group is about 6 to 10, 11 based on their build. It's a 10-pound ball. And then above that, it's a 17-pound ball. So that's really the concern with the smaller kids, is how much weight is appropriate. They're in a harness, it's more like a backpack. On the insurance side, we carry $1 million per incident, and we carry $3 million aggregate, which is well above and beyond what the cities want. Virginia Beach is on us, Portsmouth, Suffolk, they're all completely happy with that level of insurance. And we haven't had a single injury, which is pretty exciting, having about 1,200 people really go at it with this over the last year. So, yeah.
Well, you've addressed the liability issue, which concerns me from the get-go. you'd never get me in one of those things because it looks claustrophobic to me. But I guess, Michael, your presentation was very good. Thank you. You did a nice job with your video. And I know at Word of Wheel, we know all about video production, the cost involved and all that. I'm wondering if this thing has long legs. When I see this, the thing, as an investor, I look at this and say, is this going to be like a panic room? Is this going to be like a trampoline park? Is this going to be like laser tag and paintball? 3 years from now, people are going to say, what was that? And it's gone.
Right.
I mean, have you thought about that?
Absolutely. In corporate, that was one of my first questions. And corporate believes that, first of all, the wave is still building because we've only been out 12 months. They believe it's about a 6-year timeline. I think it's more like an 8-year timeline to really grab, I would say, the lion's share of revenue out of it. Because it's like, it's a trend, you know, and how it catches on, we just don't know right now. Actually, during the Shark Tank launch, they were launching it as a league, and that's what the investors didn't like. They didn't see a long-time potential for a national league of bubble soccer. It's not, you can't relate it directly to soccer or lacrosse. I mean, there's so much history involved with those sports, right? So I think that's something that we just don't know clearly. But also what's great about it is I'm aware of that, so it allows me to really look hard at the numbers of how we want to invest. And, you know, I think that was on my second to last slide, is just, you know, build it so it's for sustainable growth, which is really an unknown for us right now. But honestly, I don't know that that's a crazy concern of mine either, because I did build it for my kids, so when they're in college, they don't have debt, they have income. You know, I mean, this isn't my. I'm not placing everything into this. You know, I mean, our mortgage doesn't come out of this. You know, this is a business. You know, that we're really just trying to scale and see where.
My advice to you would be to make all that you can while you can.
Right.
Because when the trend dies, it'll die fast.
Right.
And so
That's a good
don't
point.
put all your net worth into this business.
No, definitely not. Sir.
What is the corporate interest in this market? Well, you mentioned that corporations were among your largest customers. Why are they interested in it at all? I mean, because it's not a part of their mission.
Right. No, the corporations are just interested for like a family day, a safety stand down where they have to review procedures, and then they want kind of a break at some point in time during the day for team building. That's been a big request. They come out of their training session, and then we're standing out back or in their building with the balls, and then they just get to go nuts for an hour or so. It's something really that's being driven by them more than us, but it just made that we were contacted so frequently that I just had to become aware of it, and it's going to be a big piece for us for this year, because I didn't start the business thinking corporations. So.
Are you a franchise business?
It's an affiliate. They chose not to do a franchise, but it's a limited affiliate, so there's only 2 of us that'll be in Hampton Roads.
Because the odd thought struck me, if you could get Knockerball in a skit on Saturday Night Live, it could be a political skit, it could be corporate, it could be anything.
Right. So we've been on The Bachelor and Bachelorette. We've been on Good Morning America, all the major news affiliates. Cam Newton is our endorsed athlete from the NFL. They're doing a lot behind the scenes. They're running about $10 million in advertisement for us monthly right now, which is helpful. It generates leads for us, which is great. So, anybody else?
Have you thought about trying to do something in association with one of the big events we do down here along the beachfront in Virginia Beach?
Right, so we were invited to the Sand Soccer Championship, and at the last minute, Virginia Beach shut it down, which was fine. We understood their predicament. I guess they have to protect the local businesses that are there, but we've been submitted again for next year. I didn't realize that is such a there's some definite massaging that needs to be done with certain entities at the Oceanfront to get in on some of those big venues, but that we are looking at that. It's a great piece.
What was the cost, Michael?
So the typical affiliate cost is about $5,000. We came in at 5 times larger. I just want a larger inventory because I knew that the other affiliate was a brick and mortar, so I wanted to be mobile with multiple vehicles and trailers and have the flexibility really to go wherever we want. So we came in a little over 25,000.
And how many balls did that buy you?
On my initial purchase, it was 40 balls. They're pretty expensive. It's made out of it's a type of a PVC product. It's called TPU. Very durable, but very clear plastic that you can see through also. They're about $340 a pop. It's pretty expensive.
I would also get up with the East Coast Surfing Championship folks. They're they're always looking for neat sporting type events there, and I
Right.
think that would something that would fit well with them. And also, talking about schools and all, a lot of especially the elementary schools have like the spring fairs and stuff there. I think, getting in with the school system and being able to go and for whatever price they would charge you to be there, at all these school fairs would be a great way to increase your visibility.
Yeah, no, it's a great point. We've had some good success on the south end with Cal in the picture. We've done we do lock-ins. We're doing an event at Hampton University next week with 150 of their student leaders. No, it's a great point. Thank you for that. Yes.
Along the same lines of the school groups, I mean, this is probably pitifully smaller, so maybe something your daughters would want to pursue, but, kids' birthday parties, you get one of those and, okay, what do I do this year? And I don't know what the cost to rent.
Yeah, so that was about 20% of our business last year were parties. And inside the party pool, if you will, I would say it was a birthday party and then a retirement party was another big one that we saw. The military guys love it too. So we charge by the amount of balls and the amount of play time that they want. We include 30 minutes, that's on us for setup, but our range of 8 balls for an hour is at $250, which is a good price, because our competition is a bounce house, if you really break it down to the smallest level. But most of our parties, they're asking for about 10 balls for an hour play time, so that's $360. And then we just scale it up based on how they want it. And the big piece there is that this is not a type of sport that you can ever drop off the balls. We're contractually bound to be with the balls. And so I have to have an event specialist at every single event. They're there in their referee's shirt. They've got a whistle and an air horn to make sure everything goes safely and smooth. So that adds a bit of a cost on our side, but that's the typical pricing piece for us.
You tap into athletic organizations like 757 Crew,
I've not tapped into them.
then I need to talk to you.
Okay.
That's, 757 is an interesting group that specializes in placing young men and women into college sports and getting them scholarships. So they support baseball, football, camps. So this would be, when you emphasize the team building, there might be a way to work this, and also it would not go against sometimes they're limited by how much play time they can actually do in football, but this could do the team thing. So
Yeah.
I'll get with you and give you
That would be great.
my
Thank you.
contact for it.
Anybody else? I saw it. Yes.
What are you looking for? Do you need investment capital or not?
I don't need investment capital. We're fine on that side. Really understanding more about kind of the inner workings, I would say, of Virginia Beach and Hampton Roads and good venues, streamlining process of getting to decision makers that might, have interest in this product to support, whatever, their company or their organization. So I said, birthday parties were about 20% last year. 35% was actually fundraisers. We're super involved with the churches here, Bridge Network, and just supporting them just because my wife is in that arena. But it's a fabulous fundraising deal. So people in those kind of environments, people pay X amount of dollars to go into the ball for X amount of minutes. And so if it's a political fundraiser, that can be a really high-end cost. And if it's a church trying to get ready for a missions trip or something like that, it can be even lower. But it's an extremely successful fundraising opportunity too. So, yes, ma'am.
2 things. One, like Ray mentioned with the public schools, obviously we're in the public schools all the time. And each school, at least for middle and high school, has their day. Like Ocean Lakes has their Dolphin Dash, Princess Anne Middle has their Linda Hand, and they all are trying to collect money for whatever they want in their community. Some give it away. So I would definitely get in charge. The people usually in charge of the student activities coordinator. You can find them on the website and just call them. But like Princess Anne Middle, they always do like raffles. Like last year, East Coast Paddleboard brought a paddleboard, and you could buy raffle tickets, so people could buy raffle tickets to play. That's a big, and they're all different. They're not on the same day. So like everyone has them different times, so you'd be able to kind of stagger. My second question is, what's the lifespan of the ball? Like how many times can it be used before it has to be retired and you have to buy new ones?
So corporate feels like they have that answer. They say it's 13 months. I can tell you, we did the picture of the Kellum kids. That was the football team against the lacrosse. Those guys generated a high amount of PSI inside the balls. And it's just a factor of it, right? It's plastic that has a little bit of glue on the seams, and it's, you know, put together that way. So, but if you see, you know, like the NFL videos that we've shot for the company with Cam Newton hitting, I mean, that guy runs a sub 440 yard dash, and he's 265 pounds hitting another guy that size. The balls are durable. We had probably about a 10% failure on our first order of 40 balls, which was at the seam, which corporate completely addressed. They replaced them, everything. They were wonderful. They backed us up because that can get pretty expensive. I mean, 10 balls is $3,000+. But I would say probably if you take care of them well, and there are some temperature concerns on storage of what range that they need to be in, because it is plastic, and plastic doesn't like heat when it's folded up. So I would say probably a year and a half.
Okay.
If we're good. You know, here I put them on the beach too. So there's some abrasion going on there with the granular sand and stuff like that. So.
Any questions from our students today? I'm sure you got a lot about this.
I have one question.
Sure.
About the action archery. How you guys gonna separate yourself from like paintball? Because we have 2 paintball fields in Virginia that I went to, and I've never even heard of this before.
Yeah, well, because it's just coming, and that's why a lot of people don't know about it. I looked at it. I didn't spend a lot of time researching specifically will a customer gravitate towards that sport, because when you watch the video, it's very similar to Knockerball. As soon as people see it, they're like, Mom, Dad, I gotta go do it. You know, so, and maybe that was a failure on my part, not doing a lot of the research, but I know that I moved towards it the same way I moved towards Knockerball, and I was asleep behind the wheel last year, and we killed it. So it's like, it's that kind of that sport that it's high energy that the kids just want to be part of, and with it being new, I mean, it's not a large investment either. That's what I love most about both of these businesses. You know, we're not putting out $40,000 to start a business here. I mean, you know, so I didn't really look at it a large amount of risk, but I think it'll be very clear on our website and then how we move forward with the advertisement. And the other thing I just want to announce is on Sundays from 1 to 3 p.m. at the Rave Soccer compound, we have a meetup group, which is like a drop-in game. So if anybody here ever wants to play it, you can. It's the foundation for our league. We're trying to get the numbers up to about 500. We've got about 140 right now, players that come in. It's everything from high school kids to college kids that are in towns to people like you and me that just want to go have fun. And it's a really safe sport. I know the video is kind of dynamic, but we haven't had a single injury yet. So, go ahead.
You're at Hollis. No, what is the thing at Hunt Club Farms?
Hunt Club Farms?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought I did it there.
You did it there? Yeah.
During their Hollis Scream, I think.
Did you like it?
Yeah, it was pretty fun. I went with my date, and it was like a double date, and I had to show out for that.
Okay.
Show out.
I understand that completely. Anybody else have any questions?
So you're saying it's for people of all ages, and I'm hearing that it's a sport. So
Right.
what if somebody isn't out there doing sports right now? Can they jump in and play this, or do they have to go work out to get there?
No, so, and we've had that. We've had a couple rugby teams that were on the same field that we were on, and they came over. I mean, really the requirement for us is just they have to sign a waiver. It's not negotiable, and on the waiver, I have to see a valid ID. And I just had to get used to saying no, but I say no to my kids all the time, so it wasn't really that difficult, you know. And but we always offer them, let them know where our other venues are if they don't have an ID, so they can try it at another time. Mount Trashmore has been wonderful. We sponsor J&A Racing, and we sponsor Road Rage. All their events were out there, so we let their runners and the families that are waiting play in the balls and stuff like that.
I think I'm talking about the level of fitness.
Oh.
Do you have to be like fit and?
Yeah, so that's funny, and it really the humorous part about that is when I'm on the phone with someone who's never played it and they're trying to book an event, and we're not about, you know, having people spend more money than they need to. This is a flat out workout. a 17-pound ball, and I can tell you because I ran around with body armor my whole career. It's a solid core workout and it's cardiovascular. So most people on an average fitness level, if they get into this ball and they start running around interacting with other people, in about 8 to 10 minutes they want to be out of the ball. That's an average fitness. Now, like Kellen guys, they ran for almost an hour straight and then they were dead at the end. But I mean, it just really depends. It's an absolute workout because it's wide. The adult ball is about this wide, so you don't even realize that you're taking a central nervous system hit because you're not used to balancing weight out on your sides like this. So people are like, at the end of the day, they're exhausted. Not just physically, but their body's shaking and stuff like that. But it's completely safe and it's great activity. So.
Well, actually, they mentioned it for the birthday parties and stuff. Did you contact other organizations, like they have face painters and already groups that they have a clientele? Would you work with them?
I would work with them, and honestly, I never even considered that. That's a good idea.
And the other issue is like ODU has a big field in the middle. Like I guess you need some clear area. You don't need any bushes and brushes that will pop the balls. So I mean, did you think about doing some free activities by the schools, like either ODU or other colleges or high schools?
We've done it for ODU. We've done 2 events for Regent. We're doing Hampton University next week. Those have been great, and a lot of the high schools and middle schools here we've gone out to as well. But I really, last year, I didn't really want to be invasive in the process because I was still wrapping my mind around the business, how I wanted to drive it, how I wanted to move with it, balancing liability, making sure that my kids that run the events are smart and they're paying attention. So I wasn't super aggressive, but that's a great idea for us to consider. We do a lot of partnerships with other local businesses. A lot of my meetup events, what we do is to encourage attendance is we'll do a giveaway. We've got give a massage envy massages away. I mean, we were always looking for that, but I never even thought about contacting like a face painting place. That's
also, good. Like the little kids are more excited about. I mean, like college kids. I'm sure high school kids are excited too. The little kids are also excited about these things.
Right.
Like they go to one bounce party, they want to have their birthday party there.
Right.
So if you can get them in their school or in any of the events, and they'll say, okay, I want this, and parents don't have much choice after that.
Right.
So.
And one thing, just kind of touching on that, and it's in motion right now. We are talking with Virginia Beach schools about providing a kind of a relief system for their kids. A lot of moms and dads right now, because of their work schedule, it's difficult to meet the kid at the bus, and it's difficult to have the responsibility of the kid immediately after school. I mean, my 6-year-old is off the bus at 3:10. I mean, who can stop their work day of that? So our thing was, there's definitely a concern of fitness level for kids today. I think it's undeniable. So we're talking to them about if they're interested in it. Us providing an after-school venue, doesn't have to be every single day, but a couple days a week that the kids can go out back, or they can be in the gymnasium and they can play with this, or they can do the archery, and just and it's, again, we have to just find out who's the right decision maker in that process. Do they and make it make sense for them? So that's it. Yeah. So, man.
What about, have you been able to reach out to the city rec centers and things like that?
Yes. So the rec center down on the south end, they're interested in it. They're trying to figure out how they're going to move it forward. When we did the Kellum lock-in, which is the senior year, they lock in before they graduate, it was there, and they absolutely loved it. The field house has another version that they do just for little kids' birthday parties, but there's plenty of potential for the rec centers. It's just, depending on how they want to integrate.
Because they have the seniors doing the pickleball and
You're right.
all that stuff. I thought it was pretty natural, fit-in type thing.
There was another one,
Have you approached city recreation departments? Because a lot of the cities, they do have recreation programs.
Right. Yes,
and that would be,
we have talked with them.
that would be a great market, I would think.
Sir?
How do you capture the tourist market?
The tourist market?
Yeah.
So that's part of the Virginia Beach Oceanfront question. And I think there's a way to do it. So I believe the answer is what my plan is for the next couple of weeks, which is to get on the phone with every single hotel on the oceanfront. For us to be able to give them an option to offer you know, on the weekends, for example, or whenever they want it, you know, a venue that during the day their guests can book out. I really think that's the only way to do it, because I'm specifically avoiding a brick and mortar situation. I don't want the overhead. The Oceanfront is so expensive, and I think there's a way to do it. I was really excited when we got invited to the Sand Soccer tournament, because we thought it was a done deal, but then I kind of found out some of the nuances of the Oceanfront and what goes into it. So we're going to just keep, you know, doing what we do well, which is making good relationships and sharing it when we can, and you know. But I'm going to specifically contact the hotels. I think I would say that's the first way to penetrate it, because a hotel can decide what to do with their land on the ocean.
Who owns this? I'm just envisioning a spot, like a normal spot at the oceanfront, like on the beach.
Right.
So who owns the beach in front of the hotel? And is that something you have to clear through the city or through the hotel? Or, I mean, could you set up, like every Saturday and Sunday, I'm here at,
Like a vendor situation?
yeah, like on 31st Street, I am on the beach, and I roped off this amount of area, and we've got these
Their
poles up.
billiards choice.
Yeah, I would put that in the need to research box. I mean, I looked at it very briefly, and it's very tight gripped, and I don't know the exact answer, but I thought the hotel would be the easiest way to do it, because they can make the decision.
Well, I know at Mount Trashmore, if people run fitness groups, like for profit, if you're a coach and you're bringing people out there, there's people that go around and check to see if you're licensed.
Right.
So that may be part of it, having that type of license that allows you to move within the city and set up shop.
Right. And we have that license, because I did that because of the road rage events. We do them all at Trashmore, majority of them. And we've looked at doing fitness events. The fitness events that we focused on were on the bases. I know that wasn't your exact point, but just kind of growing on it. And there's a lot of potential there. For one, because I can get on it. And then two, it's something new. But yeah, I have to investigate the requirements for the Oceanfront. It was just recommended to go to the hotels, and I thought it was brilliant. So
Also Groupon,
we use Groupon.
and there is a website called My Active Child. I don't know if you know that one.
No, we'll look
So,
it up.
I mean, my wife, like when the kids are going crazy at home, she looks at that, okay, let's do this, you know.
Yep.
That's kind of free advertisement. I think it's free to post too, so.
Okay. Yeah, so we have Living Social, Groupon, and those are great deals. Yes?
Have you thought about or tried to pursue any sort of partnership with the Norfolk Tides? If you guys could play on the field before or after the games, the publicity would be huge.
Right, and so we reached out to their coordinator, and they are interested. They just gotta figure out when to integrate it. They like to do all the, you know, the kids' games where they're in the race suitcase packing and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, strategically, any of those ideas, if there's a contact that you know, that might be great to talk to. I would love to have a conversation with you, buy you a cup of coffee, whatever it takes. Because that's the kind of stuff that I'm always looking for, something strategic that's gonna have this compound effect here. And because we're all about Hampton Roads. I mean, we're here to, I mean, this business is here to make money, yes, but we're here to serve this community, and this is a great way to do it.
All right, so you've got now about 100 different marketing avenues to address, or whatever, however many there are. What is your limiting factor that's making it difficult to scale? What's your bottleneck? What's holding you from?
Really, that just went behind it. It was me finishing my MBA. So I doubled it up and got it done. And so now, really, that was the big thing. And then I was in financial services for a long time, and I had to get rid of a couple succession accounts that I did. And so all that's behind me, and now it's ready to roll. So we've kind of implemented, re-looked at our business plan. I don't really think there is a limitation. It's just getting going. And now really addressing it at the potential that the business really offers. Because I mean, to part-time something and do almost $50,000, it's like, and literally I was asleep behind the wheel. I mean, it was just people were calling us. So now we just really want to scale it. The one thing that we just changed also for us to kind of help, because there is so much word of mouth, is into our pricing we put a $50 kind of window inside of it, where it allows $50 to come off of that cost to generate a referral payment for someone. So basically, all of our customer clients, we're about to launch this. We're launching a huge referral affiliate program where people who participate, I mean, they drive people to our website anyway, so why not incentivize them? And I said $50 is enough to make somebody want to get somebody to go do an event. So we're about to launch that. I think that's gonna really fill our calendar quick. My staff members are freaking out about it. They've always been able to, get a $50 bonus as they, book an event when they're doing another event. But to really open that up, and it's just really paying attention to our demographic of the kids, and they're on their social media, and they love sharing the videos and the stuff, so we're gonna incentivize them, and hopefully that's gonna work out the way that we think it is, so.
Michael, one more question, and we all wish you great success with your business. Explain to me why a sane person would stand there and have archery arrows shot at him.
I don't know that
I understand the ball,
participates is
I understand the
completely
ball,
sane.
but the archery is a little bit.
So quite frankly, it launched from the Hunger Games. The whole industry was born because of that girl shooting the bow and arrow in the movie. And it's like, they all want to do it. They just want to do it, so.
Have you approached any of the Renaissance Fair people?
No, I have not.
That would be people running around in costumes.
Yeah.
And this is, you can have a medieval, unfortunately, they have to wear a mask that looks
Yeah.
kind of like one of those. And that would seem to be a really good fit.
Right.
Especially we're eclectic, interesting people.
Yeah, thank you.
So, first of all, I want to say you really had a fantastic presentation. Thank you for sharing with us. And our last question is always, what can 1 million cups do for you?
If you're on Instagram, Twitter, or Snapchat, if you go online, check out some of our videos and our local event photos. They're really amazing. If you want to, hashtag us, or if you want to, tag us in any of your posts, we'd be glad to do it. Also, if you have any other questions about anything that I discussed today, I'd be glad to talk with you afterwards. It's not too early to hear about the referral, and I can get you further information later. But it was wonderful. This is like a big family to me here. I love the time that I've here, and I've learned so much in business since being part of 1 million cups. So.
Finding your own 1 million cup for 1 million more cups of coffee. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, everybody.
And we have a birthday